Hello, this is D.L. Hughes from VelocityWriting.com with 3 of 30, the writing techniques of Jack Kerouac. Who was Jack Kerouac? Well, he was a writer who lived between 1922 and 1969. Of course, he was more than just a writer. He was an icon. He published a novel in 1957 called On the Road. It was the story of the trip he and his friends took, and it recounts their many bizarre experiences. There have been lots of books like that, right? The road story is one of the main plots of books and films in America. The thing that sets Jack Kerouac apart is that he set the tone for a new generation. He was a leader of the so-called Beat Generation. Other Beat Generation authors that people recognize today are Allen Ginsberg, who wrote the long poem called Howl, and William S. Burroughs, who wrote Naked Lunch. Many people think of beatniks, bongo drums, and all that when they think of the Beat Generation. But Kerouac's influence, his ethos, extended far beyond that. In fact, I'm not alone in saying that Jack Kerouac was one of the main influencers of what became the 1960s counterculture. One raging alcoholic guy from Massachusetts literally changed the direction of American culture with his writing. That's why he's important. Jack Kerouac was a free spirit if there ever was one. He wrote 30 stream of consciousness rules for writing and life, and they were included in a book called The Portable Jack Kerouac. His 30 points were so stream of consciousness, alcohol-induced, and loosey-goosey that it's somewhat difficult to make heads or tails out of them. So out of the 30 points, I'm going to highlight 3 major points. They need some interpretation, and I'm going to give you my own thoughts about what he said and meant. Kerouac 1. Scribble secret notebooks and wild typewritten pages for your own joy. Now, this is an important rule for all writers. Keep notebooks of everything that you see, hear, and experience. Not many people carry notebooks around with them these days, yet you still need to capture the moment as Kerouac did. You have a cell phone, so I suggest you write those snatches of experience as emails and send them to yourself. You may even want to set up a special email address restricted to this treasure trove of your thoughts and experiences. Now, there's a second thing that Kerouac mentions and is easily overlooked. He talked of writing wild typewritten pages for your own joy. Today, many of us are writing with a purpose. We're trying to reach a goal or make $1. We all understand that. But have you ever sat down and written some wild, crazy stuff for your own joy? Well, I think you should. Now, I strongly believe that writers need to outline their book, just like Kerouac had a roadmap when he and his buddies went on that trip that resulted in On the Road. However, all the events that happened within the confines of that roadmap, all those crazy people and experiences, were strictly stream of consciousness. As writers, we need both structure, like a map, but complete freedom to think and say anything we want within that structure. To me, that's the genius of this particular point of Kerouac's advice. Kerouac 2. Remove literary, grammatical, and syntactical inhibition. Now, this particular rule is a minefield of contradiction. Kerouac is famous for sitting down and writing On the Road in a few weeks in 1951. It was a real stream of consciousness production. He had no literary inhibitions. However, as I have pointed out in my various videos and courses, that draft of On the Road was such a mess that it required massive editing, and it wasn't published until 1957. So what I think Kerouac was saying, and it's very important, is that you should not overthink your first draft. Your prose becomes tremendously powerful when you just let it flow. About the worst thing any author can do is to edit as they write their first draft. Kerouac's lesson is that you must let down all barriers when you write that first draft. Allow yourself to experience the pure white light of raw storytelling. There's always time later to rethink what you said, what you meant, and to do the housekeeping of grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Kerouac 3. Writer, director of earthly movies, sponsored and angeled in heaven. Yes, this is spacey. It appears to be an alcohol-induced statement. Nevertheless, there is genius here. What was Kerouac saying about the writing process? He was saying that writing is more than words. This applies to both fiction and nonfiction books. You see, as writers, we have a vision in our own minds, and our ultimate goal is to transfer that vision into the mind of another person or many other people. Kerouac was saying that we do that best when we deal with images rather than words. He stated that in another way in his list of 30. He said, "Don't think of words when you stop, but to see picture better." Kerouac saw himself, and he wants you to see yourself, not as a writer laying down words like bricks. He was a man with a vision, and he thought episodically and visually. The lesson from Kerouac in this case is that we are more than writers. We are like movie directors who have the power to cast an image on the screen. In our case, as book writers, it's not a television or movie screen, but the screen that resides in each human mind. There's an overarching lesson in Kerouac's Quixotic Guide to Writing. It's this: shed inhibition when you write and let your knowledge and experience flow through you like electricity through a power line. You have the power to light up the world when you do that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you on your writing journey, no matter what kind of writing you're doing. For bonus goodies, check out the description for this video on YouTube. Get great information by subscribing to my channel. Also, click on the bell to get notifications. I'll see you soon.